More security because about 2 months ago up the road, there's a park by plot 10. There was a stabbing going on not far from there. Someone got killed over a £10 draw, like £10 of cannabis. Someone got killed over that, and it was outside the children's park. There's not so much things for kids to do these days because it's mainly drug dealing and things like that, crime, breaking in, burglaries and things like that. Sadly, apparently the centre is going to get shut down for the youth in the next few years, so it's going to actually be a lot worse.
I hope that they should build a couple more youth clubs around here young people could go to instead of being on the streets.
I've been in Somerstown for 21 years. I'm from Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. So I'm the chairwoman of Congolese Women in Action. So I'm promoting education for young kids and identity. So we want our kids also to learn how to speak Lingala. So that's what we do. We support for young people as well.
Roger Robinson. I've been here for some years, and I'm very much involved in the regeneration of Somerstown, making it a much nicer place to live and work. We're trying to make this market we're in now a 3-day-a-week market and improve it enormously. We want to bring jobs to the area. We want to make sure that all the developments are to the advantage of the local people.
Somerstown, with all the new development and stuff that's being built around us, we hope us local people will have a better chance of employment, because half of us locals don't know the half of what's going on, and we're seeing too much around. We'd like more community housing as well, because a lot of us are overcrowded within our accommodation. We'd like more stalls. We'd like to be able to bring our talents out from our homes. And
well, my kids are now 8 and 5, and the best thing about living in Somerstown for me was that it was considered a deprived area. So we got funding from something called Sure Start, and that meant that various nurseries and community halls were opened up for parents, and you had someone there who knew about kids, and you'd go for a cup of tea and meet your neighbours and break down that kind of isolation that you get in London of just living in your own place. And I really like that. That's why we're having a stall at this festival, is that we like community, and I'd wish for more things like that, for less of this competitive, private, I can only get ahead by elbowing everybody else in the face.
Some of my hopes are that it doesn't get spoiled in the future by all the new speculation, for the chain stores to stay away and for all the nice quirky little initiatives that we can have in Somerstown. I'd like there to be more public spaces, more housing, council housing and subsidised housing, so it doesn't squeeze out the people who live here now.
I'm a student at Central St Martin's, just next to the corner. Our course did send us in Somerstown. It has been a really good experience for me and for my colleagues as well. To be able to not just stay on the other side of St Pancras, but to be able to have influences, positive influences here, and maybe not just send gentrification, but send money and new new prototypes of community living. Even if the community is really strong, I think that the council should watch more here instead of just focusing on King's Cross.
For more affordable housing like we used to have when you had council housing that wasn't then sold off and ends up with absentee landlords that's there for local people at a price they can afford. So at the moment they haven't got it.
Having seen the Somerstown film, you do realise how much things have changed. We're less of a kind of community-minded people than once we were, which I will put down to, I suppose, materialism and individualism. And I think if we will recapture some of the spirit of the people in the film, we'd have done a very good day's work indeed.
Joe, do you know what I mean? Like say free toys or whatever.
Or good-looking people and good haircuts from the barber. Yeah.
Oh, right, that's Jesson, isn't it? You would say something like, people think you need a full range of people, don't you? You don't need...
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. You know, let's just say it could have been great, and it's been cut down to size, and it's all the work that went into it,
hasn't it?
Yeah, and all the work that actually went into it has been negated in many ways by them censoring what people have said, none of which was particularly political or controversial. It's just what people thought, you know. What is controversial and political is the politics that actually got them these buildings in the first place, not the exhibition.
My wish for Somerstown is for all the voices of Somerstown to be heard.
Lovely place where you can just sit and chill out. Where's it going to be? It's a community investment programme. So they're taking away the open spaces and packing in as many flats as possible. And believe you me, by Brill Place, because the creek's already up, they can build a 10-storey block. Right, there's nothing for you to get them back into it. Well, we all know 16 to 18 are being propounded by the government to try and get work with sub-zero contract at minimum living wage. So there's going to be a generation that won't be able to go into full-time employment. These are going to be undercut. I mean, women with children who are working, who has to put the child in nursery, has to pay £75 a week per child. My wishes is to wave my magic wand and make people see sense.
Slides, monkey bars. In Oakshott Court, I've been here 8 years. I wish people wouldn't drug deal in this particular area.
They probably do crack cocaine or marijuana.
I think I'm meant to be talking to the camera, not you.
My wish is to take away more gangs, and because there's more people getting killed, not fair, because other people want to live their lives, achieve their dreams. So when people get killed, their families cry to death. So I don't really like listening to people cry, really. Well, we were having a party and a group of a gang just came and attacking my uncle. My other uncle, there was a group of around 13 to 14-year-olds dashing a bottle out my uncle's face, and his eye was popped and he had to have stitches in his face.
One good thing about Somerstown is It's got quite a village atmosphere.
Yes.
It's due to the architecture. We didn't used to have these great tall buildings. Now we've got the crick and
The crick actually feels a bit oppressive when you go past it, you know. Never noticed it before, but it does actually feel a bit, you know, it's a bit of old London, but unfortunately it is getting a little gentrified and losing its character, I think, in the process. The families that lived here have now sold up to God knows who, and we've got students underneath us, students alongside us. There's no problem at all, but they're not neighbours, if you see what I mean. Not people you can get to know, or because they're transitory. It doesn't make for community. To my mind, Mrs Thatcher's right to buy was the most disastrous thing that ever happened to London. I think that my one wish for the area is that the government would abandon its ridiculous plans for HS2 and spend that money on public housing, and there's a desperate need for it. And I mean, today we've heard that they're going to build 100,000 homes with 20% discounts. We don't need this kind of housing. We need public housing for rent at a reasonable amount, you know, that can be passed on to the next generation, not to be sold on to somebody else to go into the private market. That will be my wish.
To get well again, perfect health, I wouldn't get that. Not now. I've got prostate cancer, I'm not ashamed to tell you. And they give me treatment. Injections in the stomach and God knows what. Not very pleasant that, but I knew there was something wrong, you know, the kidneys were just, you know, I couldn't eat. She was cooking, my wife was cooking good meals and everything was fine. You know, for her, but for me it wasn't. It's not very nice when you cook for somebody and you say you don't want the dinner. I didn't know what was wrong, you know. And the wife had a hysterectomy, never told them. Of course, when she was too ill to climb 4 flights of stairs, you know, couldn't manage 4 flights of stairs. I went to the council and complained. They came round and said, well, why didn't you complain? Let us know, you've got enough points to come here, or come. So we got a flat after all those years, we've been here. You can honestly say I'm not one for moving. You know, I like it here. I like the environment, I like the windows. We get nothing but letters in here, do we want to move out, you know? Agents. I mean, all they want is to make a bomb out of it. That's no good to help people. The students, well, you're helping them, they're all going to go back to China, or wherever they are when they've studied. Not much help to us, is it? Somebody's told me that when they do HS2, and let's face it, it's going through, they're going to park all the lorries in Charlton Street and Old Salton Street so they can feed, take the rubble away from Euston. They don't give a damn. But I can't imagine, it won't affect me here. It's 20 years, I shan't be here. But how can you put up with that rubble 10 years?